No intro, we're going to jump straight in because I feel like I did some research this time, which sounds terrible, like all my previous work I hadn't. However, I'm proud of today's discoveries. So let's jump in. Over here, Anja Manuel. She is on the board of Ripple. In what capacity, I'm not too sure. However, we're going to look into her profile in just a moment. However, she was given a talk at the Conversation with Women in Leadership at Ripple about last week. Oh, I say that. A couple weeks ago. However, this video, the internet connection's not too good, and she admits at the beginning. But listen in about 3 seconds in from when I play it. You're going to love it.
If you don't do what we want, Iran or North Korea, you won't have access to the international banking system. People won't bank with you. Well, that is becoming less and less powerful, partly through the digital yuan and partly through other innovations where people are just going around SWIFT because it's slow and inaccurate in all those ways that Monica and Christina are about to talk about in bringing payments out of the digital era. But this is a really key point because Ripple is really at the cutting edge of this. So you guys should all be really proud to work here. 75% of big global banks, especially US ones, are pulling out of the international correspondent banking system. It's just...
That right there should be mind-blowing. 75% of US correspondent banks are pulling out the international payment system. She's talking about SWIFT and how people are moving away. Now, pay close attention to what she's about to say next.
It's too onerous. The regulatory requirements are too painful, and people say, well, it's not worth it. Why should I have a correspondent banking pair with Uganda or Ghana or, Chile? Why should I bother? And so new innovations like the Chinese digital yuan, like the big payments platforms in China, could take its place. On the US side, what do we have? I mean, if we had national champions in the US, which we don't, of course, Ripple would be it. We could be on the really positive side of this as we start gaining traction. And I don't have to tell you all because you work here and you help make this happen every single day, but we're designed as capable of disrupting illicit transactions. We do full AML, KYC. We can counter corruption in developing countries because instead of sending cash, people are sending assets digitally. We're helping with financial inclusion, all of that while safeguarding privacy. And what's stopping us? In the US, I think through no malicious intent, but if you look at the maze of people who regulate people like us, fintech companies, banks, etc., cryptocurrencies, it's very unclear. There's an alphabet soup of US regulators working with this, none of them coordinating very well, and most of them not very well versed in these new technologies or understanding of this global reality that Sandy and I just laid out.
Excellent. Simply beautiful from Anja, talking about what we already know, but also highlighting what's on for all of our minds, which is regulations. And more so, she was talking about and talking to her team at Ripple, that her and Sandy O'Connor both believe that Ripple are prime, that when they start to gain traction, her words, once we start to see that regulatory clarity in the US, they are in a prime position to be the champions within the US, to be that new financial platform. Exciting times ahead, to say the least. Now, moving on to a tweet from Brad Garlinghouse, where he quote retweeted Christina Campbell, the CFO at Ripple, welcoming her to Twitter. Now, interestingly, you wouldn't think much about it. Her first tweet wasn't to do with anything with Ripple. However, I thought to do a little bit of a deep dive. And she put out on her first tweet, she's honoured to be part of the newest cohort of Aspen Institute's Finance Leaders Fellowship with an incredible group of peers. Now, a few things here. I'd never heard of Aspen Institute before, let alone their fellowship, and also who was part of the so-called peers. And this is where we did a little deeper dive. So once we looked into her tweet, I then saw that Anja, the woman that we just heard from, who's on the Ripple board along with Sandy O'Connor, she's actually the director at Aspen Strategy, which I understand is a group. Aspen Strategy group looks at policy challenges the United States faces, and they talk about it in an open space. It's part of Aspen Institute, which we just saw Christina, the CFO of Ripple, become part of this star-studded lineup. So if we take a look, starting from the top, of course we have Christina Cam, the CFO at Ripple, but the list is exhaustive. We have people from the government of Canada, Goldman Sachs, and as DAI says, nothing happens without Goldman Sachs. Paul Tudor's Investment Corporation. We have the CEO of the Dow Jones and publisher, the Wall Street Journal. On top of that, we have individuals from JP Morgan and Chase International Consumer, PNC, Google. And by the way, these aren't just the company names. If you look at the job titles next to them, I'm sure all of us can take our time and do a little bit more in-depth research of who these individuals are. They are key power movers. And the list goes on from HSBC to Capital G to Citadel. Now I wondered, okay, fantastic. You know, she's part of this 23 Leaders Fellowship. And I wondered, well, what is this fellowship all about? So we take a look over here on the Aspen Institute's website. And it talks about the fellowship, usually 22, but we've got 23 in this cohort. So each class consists of 22 fellows who will participate in 4 seminars of 5 to 7 days each. This is so exciting. Just think that Christina, the CFO of Ripple, is going to be rubbing shoulders, whether it be live or online, with these individuals over the course of the year, discussing challenges that the US face with international policy and much more. Not only is she going to be building a relationship with them in a professional capacity regarding the Aspen Institute, but we all know there's going to be conversations about what does everyone do day to day. And again, Ripple being in the same room as these key players from these organizations should only instill more confidence in you that, as Brad Garlinghouse has said, that we're not just on the right side of the law, but the right side of history. So a lot to come. I hope that got you fired up, because honestly, if it wasn't Anja's video talking about how banks in the US are moving away from SWIFT and how Ripple are positioned as a potential champion, well, hopefully the link between Anja and Christina and the fellow fellowship at the Aspen Institute does. Now, over to something a little bit more light and mainstream. First, look at Spike Lee's Bitcoin commercial. Not quite accurate, and I'll tell you why. It's because it's an actual advert for CoinCloud. CoinCloud is an ATM where you can buy and sell Bitcoin, and I hate how they still do that. Soon they'll move away from Bitcoin and others, where you'll be able to exchange your cash and get, as they call it, the new currency, your coins, your way. I love seeing this narrative start to shift now. It's fantastic to see such a twist on an old design. As you can see here, it's pretty simple. You download the app, you go to one of the physical locations of an ATM, and you can put in your cash and transfer it into Bitcoin, Ethereum, or other digital currencies. They have a really cool map on here as well. I'm in the UK, as you can tell by my accent, but in the US you will be able to see where there are potential CoinCloud stations, and you can have a little play, and I'd love to know if you come across one. And also know in South America as well, in Brazil. My face off the screen for a second. We've got quite a few in Brazil. Over here in the US as well, they've got quite interesting names, but you know, you can click on one and you can see this is in Kansas, Facility Pawn and Jewelry. So it looks like it's right outside a pawn and jewelry shop. Perfect location once you've cashed in all your chains to buy more XRP. So definitely go check out coin.cloud. Let me know if you come across one of these ATMs and what's the user journey really like. So I want to take us back to the commercial for CoinCloud, not so much a Bitcoin commercial. And a key quote from this commercial: old money is not going to pick us up. It pushes us down, exploits and systematically oppresses. The digital rebellion is here. Old money is out. New money is in. Spike Lee is a genius when it comes to communicating quite a controversial message to a wide audience in such a tasteful manner. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to play the ad and you can let me know what you think of it. It's 2 minutes, so sit back, relax and enjoy the new CoinCloud advert.
Our currency is not current. Old money, as rich as it looks, is flat out broke. Don't believe me? I got the receipts. We call it green, but it's only white. Where's the women, the black folks, and the people of color? Native Americans got a nickel. A nickel! People don't even stop to pick up the nickel off the sidewalk. 7 million Americans have no bank account. 20 million underbanked. Old money's not going to pick us up. It pushes us down, exploits, systematically oppresses us. But new money is positive, inclusive, fluid, strong, culturally rich. Where status is anything but status quo. Do your own research. The digital rebellion is here. Old money is out. New money is in.
This is a part that I really love. Check this out. There's a quick glimpse of that digital wallet. If we go back really quickly, there we go. Boom. Scan your digital wallet, select what you want, put in your old money to get that new money, and it's yours. Awesome. So there you have it for today. A little bit of everything. Something to look forward to in the future, something to look forward to in the present, and things that we've accomplished already. From all areas, Ripple are still pushing. Now there's awesome news coming out about the SEC lawsuit, which you'll see on other channels. But hopefully what I've shown you today with the talk to the women leaders at Ripple, from Anja about how Ripple are primed, to Christina on the new fellowship board for Aspen Institute and who she'll be rubbing shoulders with for the next year, to how we are seeing mass media drive this new narrative in, I believe, a tasteful way for once, which is refreshing to see nonetheless. So let me know if you find a CoinCloud near you and how that ATM works. Even if it is for novelty, it's still pretty cool. It's an entry for the masses to find out incredible digital assets like XRP. Now the philosophy for today is I had something in mind that I just wanted to let you know nonetheless, which is this idea that if you teach, you learn it twice. And the beautiful thing about it is when you're forced to teach someone, like I am trying with all of you, is you find out your weaknesses and you also find out why it's so important that we do certain things in this space. So whether or not you have a following, start today. The first thing you put out will be rubbish because you're not a finished product and you never will be. But the beauty of it is whether you're speaking to 10 people or 10,000 people, using an individual investor, you're going to grow. Because you'll get to a point where you'll hit a plateau where there's only so much studying you can do before you need to take it to another level and start teaching people and find out why is RippleNet so powerful beyond just what Ripple tell us. So until then, thank you savages for investing your time and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao for now.